The first segment, a new perspective on nighttime learning. Hello and welcome. If you're here, there's a good chance you've felt it. That quiet, end-of-day exhaustion mixed with a pang of guilt. You think, I should practice my English. But your mind is tired, your focus is gone, and the last thing you want is another textbook or grammar drill. What if I told you that the most productive English session of your day could happen when you are doing absolutely nothing? When you are, in fact, completely unconscious. The idea of learning English while you sleep sounds like something from a science fiction movie, a magical shortcut. For decades, it's been wrapped in myth, dismissed by some and desperately hoped for by others. But what if the truth is more fascinating than the fantasy? This isn't about magic. It's about leverage. It's about understanding the incredible, automatic work your brain is already doing every single night, and learning how to gently point that work in the direction of your English goals. Think of your mind not as a classroom that empties at night, but as a bustling 24-hour research and development lab. The day shift is your conscious learning, active, effortful, sometimes exhausting. The night shift is where the silent, crucial work of integration happens. Filing, connecting, strengthening. This process is called memory consolidation, and it's non-negotiable for lasting learning. So the question isn't really, can I learn new English in my sleep? A more powerful and accurate question is, can I help my brain hold on to and deeply integrate the English I was exposed to today? The emerging science suggests a compelling, nuanced yes. It's not about downloading a dictionary into your dreams. It's about reinforcement. It's about creating a gentle echo of the day's language that resonates in the quiet of your sleep, telling your brain's night shift. This is important. Make these connections strong. This changes everything. It transforms sleep from a passive void into an active ally. It replaces the guilt of not studying at night with the purpose of curating what your brain will work on. You go from being a tired student to being a wise director of your own cognitive resources. So, let's begin by shifting our perspective. Let's move from chasing a sleep-learning fairy tale to embracing a sleep reinforcement strategy. A strategy that is calm, scientific, and deeply respectful of your need for rest. This is the real secret. Using the night not to study more, but to make your daytime learning stick. Are you ready to see your nights in a whole new light? So, we've shifted the perspective. We're no longer hoping for magic. We're preparing for intelligent reinforcement. Now, let's talk about the practical heart of this. What to actually do. If the goal is to send a gentle, reinforcing echo of English into your sleeping brain, what does that echo sound like? This is where the path forks, and most people with the best intentions take the wrong one. They climb into bed, pop in their earbuds, and press play on a fast-paced news podcast, a dense academic lecture, or an exciting audiobook thriller they've never heard before. To your tired pre-sleep mind, this isn't a helpful echo. It's cognitive noise. It's a burglar alarm for your nervous system. It signals red alert, new information, analyze, decode, which triggers micro-stresses and forces your brain into a daytime, problem-solving mode. This is the exact opposite of the calm, receptive, open state we need to cultivate for integration. The ideal pre-sleep audio is not a teacher, a news anchor, or a storyteller trying to thrill you. It is a familiar, calming friend. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to soothe a child, or even yourself, after a long, overstimulating day. You wouldn't choose a complex, twist-filled mystery novel read for the first time. You'd reach for a beloved, well-worn story you know by heart, The profound comfort isn't in the suspense or the new information. It's in the predictable, soothing rhythm, the known ending, the melodic familiarity of the phrases. Your brain, as it sheds the day's chaos and prepares for its essential maintenance work, is like that overtired child. It craves safety, pattern, predictability, and calm. Therefore, your nightly English audio must be ruthlessly curated through 3 essential filters. The comprehension filter. You should understand at least 90 to 95% of it effortlessly when you listen with mild attention during the day. There should be no "what did they just say?" moments. The vocabulary and syntax should feel comfortable, like a well-fitting garment. The goal is effortless recognition, not active deciphering. The calmness filter. The subject matter, the tone of voice, warm, slow, and kind. The pacing, and even the background sounds should be engineered for relaxation. A slow, sensory-rich description of a peaceful place is perfect. A debate, a tragic drama, or a loud, energetic monologue is destructive. We are trying to lower cortisol, the stress hormone, not raise it. The repetition filter. This is the golden, non-negotiable key. The audio must have built-in, natural, rhythmic repetition. This could be recurring core vocabulary, a soothing refrain, or cyclical thematic elements. This repetition is the gentle, rhythmic tapping on the shoulder of your subconscious. It whispers, "This pattern is important. This pathway is worth preserving and strengthening." What does this look like in practice? Here are your most powerful tools. Slow, sensory narratives. A simple story describing a walk through a sun-dappled forest, focusing on the sounds, smells, and textures. Or a narrative about brewing morning tea, with all its simple, repeated actions. The plot is irrelevant. The value is in the predictable, concrete, and calming language that builds a serene mental landscape. Positive affirmation and identity loops. These are short, present tense, first-person statements spoken with gentle conviction. My mind absorbs English peacefully. I recall words with ease. Listening in English feels natural and calm. These audios work less on specific vocabulary and more on the foundational software of your mind, your belief system. They build a positive, automatic, subconscious association with the language itself. Mastered dialogue and phrase sets. A very simple, familiar conversation you know inside and out, like a beginner textbook dialogue you've practiced until it's muscle memory. The sheer, boring predictability of the exchange is its superpower. It reinforces fundamental grammatical architecture. How are you? I am well, thank you. Without demanding a single calorie of conscious thought. The critical, unbreakable rule. Your sleep audio must never be your first exposure. This is the line between strategy and superstition. Your brain cannot effectively integrate what it does not recognize. The process must be a conscious, respectful cycle. Daytime, conscious engagement. This is when you actively meet the material. Listen to your chosen audio attentively. Understand it. Perhaps shadow it. Repeat along softly. Connect with its meaning. This is you planting the seed in the daylight. Evening. The gentle review, the priming. 20 to 30 minutes before bed. In a dimly lit, quiet space. Listen to the same audio again. But now your posture is different. You are not studying. You are relaxing with it. You are reminiscing with a friend. This step primes your hippocampus, signaling what's important for the night's work. Night, the reinforcement, the integration. As you lie in the dark and drift across the threshold of sleep, let that same familiar, beloved audio play at a very low volume. just above the threshold of hearing. Your only job here is total surrender, to rest. You are not listening, you are being accompanied. This is the gentle rain that waters the planted seed in the dark. You are not learning in your sleep. You are performing the most sophisticated act of learning cultivation. You are creating the perfect conditions for your brain to autonomously and efficiently integrate, consolidate, and strengthen the neural pathways formed while you were awake. You are the gardener who wisely waters at dusk, trusting the natural processes of the night to do the deep work of growth. In the next segment, we will crystallize this into your personal nighttime reinforcement ritual. A simple, sustainable, 20-minute routine that acts as a sacred bridge, seamlessly transporting the valuable work of your day into the silent, productive workshop of your night. Now, let's transform this understanding into a simple, sacred routine. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about transforming an existing ritual, going to bed, into a powerful, silent learning session. Think of this not as homework, but as a gift you give your future self. Here is your comprehensive, step-by-step, nighttime reinforcement ritual. Phase 1. The evening curation, the conscious choice. Your ritual begins not at bedtime, but earlier, when your mind is still alert. This is a conscious, peaceful act of setting the stage. 1. The Library of Calm. First, build your sleep library. This is a dedicated playlist or folder containing only your pre-approved calming English content. Having this ready eliminates decision fatigue at night. Content ideas for your library. The slow narrative. A 2 to 3 minute descriptive story you love, e.g., the cozy coffee shop, a walk in the rain. The affirmation loop. 5 to 7 positive present tense sentences in your own voice, or a calm voice you trust. The dialogue digest. A very simple 1-minute conversation you have mastered, e.g., ordering food, a friendly greeting. The vocabulary lullaby. A slow recitation of 8 to 10 thematic words, e.g., peaceful words, calm, gentle, quiet, serene, soft, still, with pauses. 2. The sacred selection. From your library, choose one piece. This is crucial. Do not overwhelm the system. Commit to this single piece for a minimum of 3 nights. Depth over breadth. Why 3 nights? The first night introduces the pattern, the second night deepens it, and the third night allows it to solidify into a familiar, expected, and utterly non-threatening sound. This is the path to true subconscious integration. 3. The engaged. Listen, put on your headphones, sit comfortably. Listen to your chosen audio once, all the way through, with gentle, focused attention. Your mental task, simply follow along. If it's a story, picture it. If it's affirmations, feel their meaning. If it's a dialogue, recognize the flow. You are not memorizing, you are reacquainting. You are gently telling your hippocampus, your brain's memory manager, this is important. This is our file for tonight. Phase 2. The pre-sleep priming, the wind-down bridge. This is your intentional transition from the external world to your internal learning space. The goal is to lower mental walls and create receptivity. 1. Digital sunset and ambiance creation. Dim the lights. Harsh light signals daytime alertness. Use lamps or candlelight. The notification ban. Put all devices on Do Not Disturb. This is a non-negotiable contract with your peace. A sensory signal. Do a 2-minute gentle neck stretch. Light a familiar scented candle. Sip a cup of caffeine-free tea. This ritualistic action tells your body, the learning day is over. The integration night begins. 2. The passive, effortless review. Lie down in bed. Play your chosen audio again. This time, your posture is one of total reception. The key mindset shift. Do not try to understand. Do not try to remember. Your only job is to allow. Let the words wash over you like a wave of warm water. Imagine the sentences as colors floating in the dark. Hear them as a melody, not as information. Why this works? This state of relaxed, focused, yet effortless attention is known as the theta brainwave state, a gateway to deep learning and creativity. You are not studying. You are priming the neural canvas. You are tagging the memory in a state of calm, making it perfectly sticky for the sleep cycle to process. Phase 3. The sleep integration. The moment of surrender. This is the culmination, where you move from intention to trust, from doing to being. 1. The technical setup. As you feel the first true waves of sleepiness, set a sleep timer for 30 to 45 minutes. The audio should play at the lowest volume that is still audible, a distant, comforting murmur, like rain on a roof. Earphones? Only use them if they are incredibly comfortable and designed for side sleeping. Otherwise, a small speaker on your nightstand is perfect. Comfort is king. 2. The mental release, the most critical step. The release of control. Consciously, silently, say to yourself, "My conscious work is complete. My brain knows what to do. I trust the process." Then, let go. Surrender the outcome. Whether you fall asleep in 30 seconds or listen for the full 30 minutes is utterly irrelevant. Why surrender is essential. Any lingering anxiety, "Is this working? I need to remember this," releases cortisol, which actively hinders memory consolidation. Trust is not spiritual here, it is biological. By surrendering, you get out of your brain's way and allow its natural, powerful processes to work unimpeded. What this feels like, and the science of why it works. This ritual works because it mirrors the natural arc of memory. Phase 1, curation, is the conscious encoding. You plant the seed with awareness. Phase 2, priming, is the gentle watering in the twilight. You activate the memory in a stress-free state, marking it with an emotional tag of calm. Phase 3, integration, is the darkness of the soil. You provide the consistent, gentle environment, the familiar audio echo, for the subconscious, nocturnal processes of the brain to weave that memory into your long-term neural network. You are not forcing knowledge into a closed door. You are leaving a familiar, welcoming light on for the night janitor of your mind, so it knows exactly which rooms to clean and organize. In the next segment, we will connect this powerful, silent nighttime work to the vibrant, active work of your day, creating a seamless, self-reinforcing cycle of English acquisition that flows effortlessly from dawn until you dream. You've now mastered the nighttime reinforcement ritual. But this ritual exists not in isolation. It's one half of a beautiful, self-reinforcing cycle. The true transformation happens when the silent work of the night meets the active work of the day. Today, we'll close that loop and create what I call the virtuous cycle of acquisition. Think of your English learning not as a straight line, but as a circle, or better yet, a rising spiral. At the top of the spiral is your daytime active practice, conscious, effortful, and social. At the bottom is your nighttime passive reinforcement, subconscious, effortless, and solitary. These two halves feed each other, creating upward momentum. Let's see how this works in practice. The cycle in action. 1. The day. Active practice. You have a 15-minute conversation lesson. You struggle to recall the word convenient. Your tutor supplies it. You feel that tiny prick of frustration, the feeling of a word being just out of reach. This is not failure. This is the critical first step. You have just tagged that word as important. You've given it an emotional marker, the mild frustration of forgetting it, and a contextual hook, the conversation about your local market. 2. The evening curation. That night, during your evening curation, you do something brilliant and deliberate. You find or create a simple audio loop that includes that word in a calm, positive context. For example, the market near my home is so convenient. It makes shopping easy and convenient. I love its convenient location. You listen with gentle attention. 3. The night reinforcement. You prime with this audio and let it play as you drift off. Your sleeping brain, now focusing on important files, encounters convenient, wrapped in a calm, repetitive, and emotionally neutral package. It strengthens the neural pathway for that word, sanding down the rough edges of the day's frustration and embedding it deeper. 4. The next morning, integration awakening. You wake up and go about your morning. While making coffee, the word convenient pops into your head, unbidden. It feels more available. This is the night's work presenting its results. You've moved the word from your struggling working memory into your more accessible, long-term storage. 5. The next day, active practice, the proof. In your next conversation, the topic of transportation comes up. You need the word, and this time, it's there. You say, the bus system is very convenient. You didn't cram. You didn't sweat. The word arrived on time because you created a biological delivery system for it. This success builds confidence, which reduces anxiety, which makes you more open to learning, fueling the next rotation of the cycle. How to intentionally build your cycle. The struggle log. Keep a small notebook or phone note titled Night Seeds. During your day, jot down 1 to 3 words or phrases that you almost remembered or that felt sticky. This is your source material for nightly audio creation. From struggle to script, turn those struggle log items into your affirmation loops or simple sentences for that night's ritual. You are literally programming your sleep with the exact material your brain needs to process. The morning harvest. Spend 60 seconds upon waking just noticing. Don't force recall, just be open. What English words, melodies, or feelings are floating near the surface? This gentle awareness validates the process and solidifies the gains. This virtuous cycle is the antithesis of burnout. It replaces the exhausting push of constant studying with a natural rhythm of engagement and rest. The day feeds the night with purposeful material. The night feeds the day with prepared, more accessible knowledge. You become a collaborator with your own brain, not its taskmaster. In our final segment, we will address your lingering questions, troubleshoot common obstacles, and leave you with a vision of the calm, confident English speaker you are becoming through this integrated practice. Perfect. Let's keep going. Now that you understand the core cycle, let's elevate it. How do you move from simply doing the ritual to truly mastering it for your unique life, goals, and brain? This is about customization and the long-term vision. Part 1. Personalizing your nightly input. Your learning profile is as unique as your fingerprint. The perfect sleep audio isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's what perfectly fits you. Ask yourself, are you an intuitive learner? You might thrive on story-driven audio. The narrative gives context and emotion, helping you absorb phrases holistically. Focus on very short, descriptive stories with a strong sense of place or feeling. Are you a structural learner? You might benefit more from pattern-based audio. Think of clear, repetitive grammar patterns or categorized vocabulary lists delivered slowly. E.g., 3 things I see. I see a wall. I see a window. I see a door. Are you building confidence? Then affirmation and identity loops are your foundational tool. Before tackling complex vocabulary, build the belief system that says, English is safe for me. This is often the most overlooked yet powerful step. Action step. This week, experiment. Dedicate 2 nights to a story, 2 nights to a pattern drill, and 2 nights to affirmations. Notice which one leaves you feeling most calm, and which one seems to make the associated language feel more accessible the next day. Follow that signal. Part 2. The art of the night seed, from passive to active curation. We talked about the struggle log. Let's deepen that. A powerful night seed isn't just a forgotten word. It can be a productive mistake, a sentence you meant to say, but fumbled. That evening, hear it spoken correctly, slowly, 3 times. A sound that challenges you. The difference between ship and sheep. Your nightly audio can place these words in a calm, minimal pair sentence. The ship is on the sea. The sheep is on the hill. A slice of real speech. One perfect, natural sentence you heard in a show or podcast. Isolate it. Loop it. Let your brain soak in its natural rhythm and linking overnight. This transforms you from a passive consumer of pre-made sleep tracks into an architect of your own subconscious learning. You are now targeting your precise, personal sticking points. Part 3. The long game. Patience and the compound effect. This is the most important mental shift. You will not wake up tomorrow fluent. Sleep reinforcement is the discipline of marginal gains. It is the 1% improvement each night that compounds dramatically over months. Think of it as a savings account for your English. If you actively study your daily income, and then consistently reinforce it in sleep, your nightly high-interest savings plan, the balance grows steadily, even when you're not actively depositing. There will be plateaus. There will be nights you skip. The power is in the long-term consistency of the ritual, not the perfection of any single session. Your measure of success changes. Short-term, week 1. Success is consistently performing the ritual and falling asleep calmly. Medium-term, month 1. Success is noticing that words from your nightly audio feel warmer and more familiar the next day. Long-term, 3+ months. Success is the undeniable ease, the sentences that form quicker, the drop in anxiety when listening, the feeling that English is becoming a natural part of your mental landscape, not a foreign artifact you have to painfully retrieve. You are playing a different game, not a sprint, but a gentle, sure-footed marathon where your rest is literally part of your training. In the next part, we'll address the ecosystem around this practice. How your daytime activities, from what you watch to how you think, can be optimized to create the richest possible material for your nights. We'll look at creating a holistic English environment that turns your entire waking life into a source of powerful night seeds. You have the ritual. You understand the cycle. Now, we must talk about protection. Because this gentle process is like a small plant. It needs the right environment to grow. In this chapter, we become guardians of that environment. We'll identify the subtle enemies of effective sleep learning and build simple, powerful defenses against them. The enemy of depth, the scrolling ritual. Here is the most common sabotage. You finish your peaceful pre-sleep priming with calm English, and then, almost automatically, you pick up your phone, just to check. One notification leads to a scroll, a bright screen, a rush of new information, news, social media, messages. This is catastrophic for our goal. Why? That last-minute scrolling floods your brain with new, emotionally charged, and unrelated information. It's like carefully preparing a quiet room for your guest, English, and then, just as they arrive, shouting a dozen different conversations into it. Your brain's night shift now has conflicting priorities. The calm signal from your English audio gets drowned in digital noise. The defense, the digital sunset. 1 hour before your pre-sleep priming begins, your phone goes into English mode. This means Do Not Disturb is on. All notifications are silenced. The only apps allowed are your audio player, your Night Seeds note, and maybe a simple e-reader if you're reading your familiar English story. The phone is not in your hand. It is on a charger, away from your bed. You are not just protecting your sleep. You are protecting the priority status of the English you just primed, the enemy of consistency, the all-or-nothing mindset. You miss one night. Life gets busy. The voice says, I broke the routine. It's over. I failed. This mindset ends more progress than anything else. The defense, the 2-minute rule. The rule is simple. Never let your consistency drop to zero. On the chaotic, exhausting days when the full ritual feels impossible, you commit to the absolute minimum version. Put on your familiar audio. Lie down. Listen for 2 minutes as you breathe. That's it. You don't need to complete the priming phase. You don't need to wait for the integration. You just connect with the habit for 120 seconds. This protects the neural pathway of the routine itself. It tells your brain this practice is still important and makes it infinitely easier to return to the full ritual the next night. The enemy of quality. The wrong audio. Revisited. We talked about this, but it's so vital it bears repeating with a new filter. Not all calm audio is created equal for sleep learning. The new filter, the no-story arc rule. For sleep-specific audio, avoid stories with a strong plot, mystery, or unresolved tension. A story that makes you wonder, what happens next, engages your conscious, problem-solving mind. Exactly what we're trying to quiet. Instead, choose descriptive audio with no plot. A guide to the sounds of a rainforest. A description of a cozy library. A slow recounting of the steps to bake bread. The content is inherently complete and relaxing in each moment, with no hook to keep your waking mind engaged. Be your own guardian. Tonight, as you prepare, ask yourself these 3 guardian questions. Environment. Have I created a digital moat around my pre-sleep time? Consistency. Am I applying the 2-minute rule if needed to keep the thread intact? Audio. Does my audio calm the mind, or does it secretly engage its desire for plot and drama? Protecting the process is how you move from experimenting with a technique to living within a practice. It transforms sleep learning from a novelty into a non-negotiable part of your life, as natural and essential as brushing your teeth. In the next chapter, we will look forward. We'll explore how to know this is actually working. We'll identify the subtle, real-world signs of progress that happen long before fluency, so you can stay motivated and trust in the silent nightly work. You are protecting your practice. You are consistent. Now, the quiet but essential question arises. How do I know this is actually working? We must abandon the dramatic movie-style transformation fantasy. Progress in language acquisition, especially when aided by sleep, is subtle, deep, and often silent before it becomes loud. In this chapter, we become detectives of our own improvement, learning to spot the small, undeniable proofs that your night garden is indeed growing. The evidence is not on a test, it's in your life. Forget about quiz scores for a moment. True progress reveals itself in your reactions, your ease, and your unthinking moments. Here is what to look for. 1. The sign of ease. Faster, softer recall. This is the most common and beautiful sign. It's not that you know more words. It's that the words you do know come to you more easily. The evidence. Previously, you might have struggled for 5 seconds to remember the word appointment. Now, it's just there. The mental friction is reduced. You're not searching. You're simply accessing. This is your brain having strengthened that specific neural pathway during sleep. 2. The sign of comprehension. The echo effect. You watch an English video or overhear a conversation. A phrase floats by that was in your sleep audio. You don't just understand it. You feel a gentle ping of recognition, a familiarity that goes beyond meaning. It's as if the language is a familiar song, and you've just heard a chorus you know well. This familiarity reduces listening anxiety and builds momentum. 3. The sign of confidence, the disappearing barrier. This is a feeling, not a skill. You sit down for a conversation or decide to listen to a podcast. Notice your initial internal reaction. Is there less mental groaning, less subconscious resistance? That shrinking of the invisible barrier between you and the English activity is a direct result of your brain normalizing the language through nightly, calm exposure. English feels less like a task and more like a part of your environment. 4. The sign of integration, thought and dream shifts. Waking thoughts. You find yourself finishing a simple thought in English without deciding to. I need to buy milk. This is language moving closer to your instinct. Dreams. You don't need full English conversations in your dreams. Look for cameos. A word floats by. A character says a simple line you've heard. These cameos are powerful evidence that the language is weaving itself into your subconscious mind. What to do when you see or feel. No signs, the plateau protocol. You will have weeks where you feel nothing has changed. This is normal. This is a plateau, not a failure. When you hit one, do not abandon the practice. Instead, execute the plateau protocol. Return to utter simplicity. For 3 nights, use the most basic, comforting audio you have. The story you know best. Reset the feeling of ease and success. Check your input. Have you been using the same audio for too long? Your brain may have fully absorbed it. Time to refresh your night seed with new, yet still simple material from your day. Measure differently. Look for the tiniest evidence. Did you sleep better on nights you did the ritual? That's a win. Did you feel calmer during your priming? That's a win. Protect the habit itself as the primary victory. Your new metric, the trust meter. Ultimately, your main measure of progress is not a test score, but your level of trust. Do you trust the process enough to continue even without flashy results? Do you trust that your brain is working even when you can't see it? This trust is the foundation of all lasting learning. When you notice a sign, a word arriving faster, a moment of unexpected calm, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, "Ah, the work is working." This positive reinforcement seals the progress. In our next chapter, we will bring everything full circle. We'll create your personal 1-page sleep learning manifesto, a simple guide you can look at any time to remember the principles, the ritual, and the proof. This will be your anchor, keeping you steady and clear on your path to confident English. You have your manifesto, your proof, and your nightly ritual. Now, let's weave it all into the fabric of your entire day. True mastery comes not from isolating your practice, but from creating a gentle, self-reinforcing rhythm that carries you from morning to night. This is your 24-hour learning cycle. Think of your day in 3 interconnected phases. Morning activation, daytime collection, and nighttime integration. Each phase has a simple, single purpose. Phase 1. Morning activation, 5 to 10 minutes after waking. Your brain is fresh from its nightly work of consolidation. This is not the time for new challenges, but for harvesting and activating what was strengthened. The practice. While having your coffee or getting ready, passively listen to the same audio you used the night before. Don't study it. Just let it play in the background. Why it works. This morning replay acts as a gentle wake-up call for those neural pathways. It says, remember this material? It's important today, too. It moves the knowledge from the deep, subconscious consolidation of sleep into your active, ready-to-use memory for the day ahead. You'll often find the phrases or words from the audio feel remarkably clear and accessible. Phase 2. Daytime collection. Living your life. This is your active life phase. You are not in English student mode. You are a collector, as we discussed. The mindset. Go through your day, work, conversations, media, with one question in the back of your mind. What would make a good night seed? Phase 2. Daytime collection. Living your life. This is your active life phase. You are not in English student mode. You are a collector, as we discussed. The mindset. Go through your day, work, conversations, media, with one question in the back of your mind. What would make a good night seed? The action. Use your notepad or voice memo to capture those 1 to 3 sticking points, interesting phrases, or simple sentences you encounter or wish you could say. This is your raw material. The pressure is off. You're just gathering. Phase 3. Evening and nighttime integration. Your core ritual. This is the sacred sequence you've mastered, now powered by the specific material you collected. Evening curation. Transform your day's seeds into your simple nightly audio. Pre-sleep priming. Calm your mind with this personalized content. Sleep integration. Surrender and trust the process. How the cycle feels. This rhythm removes the exhausting on-off switch of studying. Instead, English becomes a continuous, low-volume current running through your day. Morning. You start confident, hearing familiar English. Day. You engage with the language naturally, looking for gems. Evening. You process and prepare those gems with intention. Night. Your brain does its silent, powerful work. You are no longer cramming. You are curating, reinforcing, and activating in a natural, sustainable loop. Troubleshooting the rhythm. I don't have time in the morning. Then just play the audio once while you shower or brush your teeth. The key is the passive exposure, not focused attention. Some days, I collect nothing. That's fine. On those days, return to a foundational audio from your library. The cycle continues based on familiarity, not constant novelty. It feels too simple. That is its strength. Complexity burns us out. Simple, repeated rhythms build lasting ability. Trust the simplicity. This 24-hour cycle is the ultimate protection against burnout. It makes learning feel like a natural part of your life's rhythm, not an extra burden. You are always moving forward, even in your rest. In our next chapter, we will look at the long-term journey. We'll discuss how to evolve this practice as your English grows from beginner to intermediate to advanced. Your nightly ritual will change shape with you, supporting you at every stage of fluency. Your journey with English is alive. It grows, changes, and deepens. So should your practice of learning while you sleep. What serves you as a beginner will not be what you need as an intermediate speaker. In this chapter, we'll map out how to evolve your nightly ritual to match and support your growing skills. You will learn to listen to your own progress and let it guide your next steps. Stage 1. The beginner's foundation, the stage of safety and repetition. Your goal: to make English feel safe, familiar, and to build a core of unshakable automatic phrases. Your nightly audio focus, ultra-simple sentences. Hello, how are you? I am fine. Thank you. Goodbye. Basic vocabulary. Themes, numbers, colors, simple foods, daily objects, presented in lists or very short sentences. Core affirmations. English is friendly. I can learn. My mind is open. Why this works. At this stage, the brain is building the first foundational neural pathways for the language. Extreme repetition of simple, high-frequency language is crucial. The priority is recognition and comfort, not complexity. Sign to move on. When your current audio feels boringly easy and provokes zero mental effort. When you can anticipate every next word before it's spoken. Stage 2, the intermediate builder, the stage of patterns and flow. Your goal: to move from isolated words and phrases to understanding and internalizing common grammatical patterns and the natural flow of conversation. Your nightly audio focus, pattern drills. I have been studying. She has been working. We have been waiting. Focus on one tense or structure at a time. Short, slow dialogues. Simple conversations with clear turn-taking. The focus is on the ebb and flow of questions and answers. Descriptive paragraphs. A 4 to 5 sentence description of a place, a person, or a routine. This exposes you to linking words and sentence connectors. And, but, because, then. Why this works. Your brain is now ready to absorb how the language fits together. Hearing grammatical patterns in a calm, repetitive state helps you acquire them intuitively, reducing reliance on textbook rules. Sign to move on. When you can easily grasp the overall meaning of your descriptive audio and the pattern drills feel automatic. When you start noticing these same patterns in your daytime listening. Stage 3, the advanced refiner, the stage of nuance and voice. Your goal: to refine your comprehension of nuanced language, absorb sophisticated vocabulary in context, and develop your own voice in English. Your nightly audio focus, complex narratives and speeches. Excerpts from audiobooks, thoughtful podcasts, or lectures on familiar topics. The key is that the topic is familiar, even if the language is rich. Targeted vocabulary in context. Short clips where a specific, useful advanced word is used naturally multiple times. Subtle intonation and emphasis. Audio where the speaker's emotion, sarcasm, or persuasion is carried by their tone and pacing. Your goal is not to memorize words, but to absorb the music and intent behind them. Why this works. At an advanced level, sleep reinforcement is about deepening sophistication and speed of access. It helps move advanced vocabulary from your passive recognition to your active readiness and fine-tunes your ear for subtlety. The continuous cycle. Even at an advanced stage, you will cycle back to simpler audio for comfort and consolidation. The practice evolves. The core principle of familiar plus calm plus repetitive remains. How to navigate your evolution. Don't rush. Stay in each stage until your chosen material feels deeply familiar. Boredom is a better sign than struggle. Listen to your frustration. If your nightly audio feels stressful or confusing, you have jumped too far ahead. Take a step back to the previous stage. Your night seeds guide you. The phrases and vocabulary you collect during the day will naturally reflect your current stage. Let them be the compass for your nightly audio creation. Your sleep learning practice is a loyal companion on your journey. It starts by holding your hand, then by walking beside you, and finally by running ahead, just enough to pull you gently toward greater mastery. It is always in service to where you are right now. In our final chapters, we will bring a powerful close to this series. Next, we will consolidate everything into a simple, one-page checklist, your quick reference guide for lifelong learning, followed by a heartfelt, motivational conclusion to send you on your way, rested and confident. We have covered the philosophy, the science, the ritual, and the evolution. Now, let's crystallize everything into one page, your ultimate no-nonsense checklist. This is your quick reference guide. Print it, save it on your phone, and let it be your anchor on any night you feel unsure. Here is your sleep learning master checklist. The core principle, always remember. Sleep is for reinforcement, not first-time learning. Your nightly audio must be familiar. Your 24-hour cycle, the big picture. Morning, activation. Play last night's audio passively for 5 to 10 minutes while getting ready. Daytime, collection. Live your life in English when possible. Collect 1 to 3 night seeds, words, phrases you struggled with or liked. Evening, curation and priming. Digital sunset, 1 hour before bed, silence notifications. Create audio. Turn your night seeds into a simple, calm, 2 to 3 minute audio loop. Prime, lie down, lights dim. Listen to your audio once with zero effort. Just breathe and let it wash over you. Nighttime, integration. Set up. As you get sleepy, set a sleep timer for 30 to 45 minutes. Play your audio at a very low volume. Surrender. Consciously release all expectations. Think, my work is done. I trust my brain. Fall asleep. Audio selection filter, the golden rules. Your nightly audio must be comprehensible. You understand 90% plus of it easily when awake. Calming. Slow pace, warm tone, no exciting plots or bad news. Repetitive. Has natural repetition of target words or phrases. Short. 2 to 5 minutes is perfect for a loop. Troubleshooting. Quick guide. Mind won't quiet down. Use the audio as an anchor. Gently follow each word. Fell asleep in 2 minutes? Perfect. The priming phase did its job. Feeling no progress? Execute the plateau protocol. Return to simpler audio for 3 nights. Too busy for the ritual? Apply the 2-minute rule. Just connect with the habit. Audio feels boring? Good. Boring equals deeply familiar. That's the goal. Your stage check-in checkmark. Beginner, using ultra-simple sentences and vocabulary lists. Intermediate, using pattern drills and slow dialogues. Advanced, using nuanced narratives and targeted vocabulary in context. Move to the next stage when your current audio feels too easy. Your first night, a simple starter plan. If you're starting tonight, here's exactly what to do. Forget everything else. Your only goal tonight is to complete this short sequence. Find this audio. Search online for Slow English Story for Sleep or English Relaxation Narrative. Pick one under 3 minutes. Evening, 9 p.m. Listen to it once while sitting comfortably. Bedtime, 10 p.m. Lie down. Play it again. Just listen. Lights out. Set a 30-minute timer. Play it one more time at low volume. Close your eyes. Your only job is to breathe. That's it. You have just performed the complete ritual. No collection, no curation needed for night number 1. You have set the pattern. Tomorrow, you can begin to personalize it. This checklist is your map. The practice is your journey. You don't need to remember every chapter. You just need to follow this page. In our final chapter, we will close this series not with a summary, but with a vision. We'll look at the person you are becoming through this practice. Not just a better English speaker, but a calmer, more trusting, and more effective learner in all areas of life. We have reached the final stretch. You have the map, the tools, and the plan. But before we close, let's pause and look at something far more important than vocabulary lists or sleep timers. Let's look at the transformation that happens when you learn this way. This isn't just a course on sleep learning. This is an invitation to change your entire relationship with learning English, and perhaps with learning itself. The first transformation, from struggle to strategy. For so long, learning English might have felt like a battle against time, against forgetfulness, against grammar rules, against your own accent. It was you, alone, pushing a heavy rock uphill. Sleep learning, done correctly, ends that war. It teaches you collaboration. You are no longer fighting your brain. You are working with it. You plant the seeds by day, and you let the powerful silent chemistry of the night help them grow. You move from force to flow. The second transformation, from guilt to peace. How many nights have you gone to bed thinking, I should have studied more? That guilt is a terrible weight, and it doesn't help you learn. It only helps you quit. This practice replaces that guilt with a quiet purpose. When you lie down tonight and begin your ritual, you will know you are doing something profoundly intelligent for your English. Rest becomes part of your progress. You trade guilt for the deep peace of knowing you are on the right path. The third transformation, from impatience to trust. We live in a world of instant results, but the brain doesn't work that way. True, lasting learning is a gentle, organic process, like a tree growing. This method teaches you the discipline of patience. It asks you to trust a process you cannot see. You won't feel fluent tomorrow, but you will feel a word become easier next week. You will notice a moment of unexpected calm in a conversation next month. This cultivates a quiet, unshakable confidence that has nothing to do with quick fixes and everything to do with trusting your own consistent effort. Who you are becoming. You are not just becoming a person who knows more English. You are becoming a calmer learner. You are becoming a strategic thinker. You are becoming someone who trusts themselves. These qualities will spill over into every other challenge you face. You are building a mindset. So as you embark on this, remember, the ultimate goal is not just to understand English while you're asleep. The goal is to wake up to a new, more confident, and peaceful version of yourself, who also speaks better English. In our final closing chapter, we will bring everything home. We'll look at the simple first step you can take tonight, not as a test, but as a gift to your future self. We'll end with a powerful reminder of your own potential. This is where our formal journey ends, and your real journey begins. We've walked from skepticism to science, from theory to a practical step-by-step ritual. You now hold a powerful key, the ability to make your rest a productive part of your English growth. But all of this, the chapters, the checklists, the science, is just information. It becomes power only through one thing, your action. Tonight, you have a choice. You can close this video and think, that was interesting, and let the idea fade into the background of your busy life. Or you can make a different choice. You can choose to experiment on yourself. You can choose to take the simplest version of this ritual, a short, familiar story, 5 minutes of calm listening, and the trust to let it play as you drift off, and gift it to yourself. Don't do it to become fluent by tomorrow. Do it to give yourself the experience of learning without pressure. Do it to prove to yourself that a kinder, smarter approach exists. This method is not just about English. It's a lesson in self-trust. It's about believing that your mind is capable of amazing things when you treat it with respect, provide it with the right materials, and then give it the space to work in its own mysterious, quiet way. Your English success was never going to come from a single magic trick. It was always going to come from the compound effect of small, consistent, intelligent actions. Day after day, night after night, you now have the blueprint for one of those intelligent actions. So, let's end not with a summary, but with an invitation. I invite you to start your night garden tonight. Plant one small seed, a single story, a few calm phrases. Water it with your attention, and then let the darkness do what it does best. Wake up tomorrow and notice, not just your English, but your feeling, the quiet confidence of someone who is working in harmony with their own brain. You have everything you need. The rest is in your hands and in your peaceful nights ahead. Thank you for your time, your curiosity, and your commitment to your own growth. I believe in your journey. Now, go and begin. Your first step. Find a 2-minute slow English story. Listen calmly before bed. Play it softly as you fall asleep. Trust. That's it. Share your intention below. What will you listen to tonight? Your comment creates accountability and inspires our community. If this video changed your perspective on learning, give it a like. It helps others find this gentle approach. Subscribe to English Tonight for more ways to learn English that are kind to your mind.